And on the biggest map in the map pool, we have, spawning in the lower right, Brydo, who was not able to take that first map, so he is in an elimination situation here. And in the upper left, we have our Terran player, Bearfan, who was able to win the last match and needs only one more to close up the third place finish. And they did spawn on cross positions, not that any positions on this map are particularly close, but this one will probably be an especially long game. Doesn't look like Bearfan is trying anything too crazy this time, but he is going gas first, so we may see some Hellion play, or possibly Widowmine drops, or maybe Banshee play. He is a fan of that placement so that the add-on can be part of his ramp. You know, against Protoss, the walling in is not nearly as important, but it can become important if, you know, in the last game, if he wouldn't have walled in, those zealots would have been in his mineral line right after his kind of failed or semi-failed Reaper harass. And we have a gateway into Nexus for Brydo. And we finally have a scout. I think he knows that this is the cross spawn location, but he hasn't seen anything yet. He hasn't ran up the ramp to check on anything yet. Can he see that probe? Oh, he can see the probe. And I think this probe might actually be able to sneak in if he actually goes for it. Looks like we have the SCV coming down to. Oh, and he just realized he possibly could have go in right at the end. We have an expansion going down, but we already have the expansion up for our Protoss player, but the saturation's pretty minimal so far. He does have a bit of a supply lead, and with warp gate research almost halfway done, you know, that's going to only go up. And we got a bit of a supply block. With them being cross positions, this middle watchtower is really nice. But, you know, you always can go around, but you know, that's more time that it's going to take you to get there. It looks like he's going for Robo this time. And Warp Gate's finished, and he's got those 3 gates pumping out. I assume he's going to probably drop another 1 or so more when he gets the Inkling. Yep, there comes at least 1 more. And yeah, you can see the idle workers. No idle workers for a Terran player. Got a decent bit of a supply lead for our our Zerg player. Yeah, no gas there, and if he's going to work on going up to Colossi, or if he's just going to make some Immortals with Bearfan's love for Marauders, it's not actually that bad of an idea, because if we do look at the units tab, 5 Marauders, 6 Marines, you know, that's pretty heavy into the Marauder production. Looks like everybody's just getting their powering up, but I'm assuming that now that we have these gateways up, we're going to probably have a probe leave fairly soon to go and drop a pylon a little bit closer. We have medevacs out, so there's always the possibility that we're going to have some drop play from this point on. But it looks like both players are content to just kind of shore up their economies and bases. We have 1-1 on the way, or I'm sorry, 1 attack on the way for our Protoss player. The Terran player doesn't actually have any upgrades yet, but he does have the eBay. Yeah, that is definitely an oversight. He could be chrono boosting for sure more. And it looks like he wants to move out, but like I say, oh, and there's our probe going to drop the pylon, and it looks like he's going to also throw another one closer. He is going to walk through the middle, and he is in the vision of that watchtower, but we'll see if he actually takes advantage of it and goes and checks to see where the heck that probe actually went. And looks like they're both yeah, Psystorm is super brutal against MMM. You know, you have to be quick and get out of it, but you know, it depends if you can be or not. Colossi is a little bit less tricky, but you know, you can also go Vikings. Oh, and the medevacs are leading ahead, but we do have Stim without any major splash damage, so that's a little bit more brutal. But with those 2 Immortals, one with 5 kills and the other one with 2 kills, I guess that's not that great, but this assault, looks like we're trying to sneak a Nexus up in this corner, which is funny because they're like right next door to each other. This SCV is just We have the mothership core. Looks like it's going to go for some scouting, possibly. And we do have him going into a little airplay. The Colossi and Void Ray, you start to see you started to see that for Terran. Looks like he is going into Psystorm. That's pretty epic on we do have a pretty big force coming across, and if I think we have quite a few units for our Protoss player, but they weren't together. But oh, they just got here. But the Zealots are in the back and they don't have charge, so that's kind of rough. But it looks like they're going to come up and be able to block some damage. So this is going to push back the Terran force, but Terran's not all fighting together. Looks like this is going to be a pretty pretty clean fight, and the game is going to probably stabilize a bit. You do have a bit of a supply lead for a Terran player, but not much. Yeah, he's going to hold right there and not try to overextend. Yeah, this guy's got 10 hits and nothing but shield damage, so he's definitely rocking some face. Looks like this could be we could definitely use some more production for our Terran player. They have a shit ton, and it looks like they're finally starting the upgrades, and that's one thing that, you know, I believe we had 1-1, or no, 2, and then he went for shields. Usually they, usually you'll see, I don't know, with that high of an immortal count, the shields are good, but they're usually not as great as having the just armor, because usually you don't want the immortals to be tanking anyway. You want all the zealots up front to tank. Yeah, you want to spread out those mules so they don't just completely decimate. Oh, this guy's just probably been hanging out the whole time. You know, it's not really important for them to work. You know, it's just keeping that area secure, really. You just don't want the rocks to get out of place over there, really. Still pretty undersaturated. It says 10, but that's because I think there's a fuck ton coming from somewhere else. Oh, 6. They were leaving or something like that. I assume he's going Vikings because he assumes there's going to be Colossi, but he is, yeah, I guess the Voids too. Even though Marines are pretty good against Voids, you know. And it looks like he does want to go for further SCV, further air type of play. Oh, and we have kind of a wonky engagement here. He's coming back. That looks like we have. Will we have some Psystorms? So that was a pretty sexy Psystorm. Hopefully he doesn't walk into it too much. And the re-stem, they're already kind of low on health, but looks like he's A-moving as opposed to actually, or he's not A-moving, he's just moving. But it looks like he will clean it up, but both of the High Templar are all dead. So it looks like he probably doesn't want to engage too much more. He might overextend. Yeah, looks like this will be cleaned up. We're going to probably stabilize again.